The new album, self-entitled, Willow.
Yes.
We was just, before we started the conversation, I was like, what do you want to do today? She was like, yo, we got to talk about these aliens, B. You think that playing this new album outside of Area 51 is what's going to get them to show them aliens?
Yes. I think the frequency is gonna twinkle their little antennas.
So you think the aliens will reveal themselves, or this album will be so soothing and calming to the people hiding the aliens that they will relinquish all type of,
That's another
aggressive
perspective.
standoff and allow people in?
That's another perspective
So
that
which
I'm
one is
really
it?
liking. I'd have to say it needs to be both. It needs to be both.
Right,
This
work-
music
work
works
both
terrestrially
sides, yes.
and extraterrestrially.
I didn't know that you and Jaden were both on this
Yes,
page, man.
extremely.
Your dad was definitely speaking my language in Men in Black. I was
Yes.
like, yo, they're tapped in. So I'm assuming that at the crib, you guys are talking about
100%. It's a constant convo.
this. Oh, no.
The whole family's in the cosmos.
Would you say your generation hates social media? Or is
Hates
it
it.
kind of like you use it as needed?
There's two dualities in this generation. It's like the people who are obsessed with social media and it's their life. It's like their livelihood, it's everything. It's their social, it's everything. And then there's the people who are like, yeah, I use it or maybe I don't use it, but I see how it fits with my brain and like my emotional state and like how it messes with the people around me and like I'm not really down for that.
So there's an awakening.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really like contrasted, those two groups of people. That how I see it.
I've heard you express in our conversation today something that not everybody gets the luxury of having. And I'm not sure if you know your level of freedom because of your family
Very
and the world you
privileged.
came up. Well, not even just privilege, but it's deeper than that, right?
Yeah.
Because there's people who have privilege.
Yeah,
But you've had a level of freedom of expression
it's
that's
true.
allowed you to get to a place where you can seek more learning
Yeah.
and be more curious.
Exactly.
And you brought up curiosity earlier. Most of the time when a young person goes through things that you went through,
Mhm.
right, their family, if they have the money, can help them get therapy or maybe,
Exactly, which I definitely did try.
right? And then there's the level of sophistication that maybe the community around them may have to rally around them
Yeah.
and make them feel loved and
Yes.
uplift them. But then there's the other layer where if what you're feeling is this trapped feeling or you're feeling like you're forced into a lifestyle that you didn't actually choose for yourself.
Which I did feel that for a while.
Some people still get hit from their community and their parents like, oh, well, suck it up. This is
Yeah.
who we are and this is what we do. That convo, having that conversation, right, with a young person, are these things that you're able to do?
My family is really the only reason I feel like I recovered from that time in the way that I did. And because if I didn't have them,
Yeah.
or if they weren't as like accepting of me and my pain and trying to understand me, that could have gone left
Yeah, for sure.
very easily and very fast. But them imbuing that like purpose and that value onto me, like, no, you're meant to do something. Like this is not for nothing. Like you're gonna do something. Like
Yeah.
that is really important because most of the time I felt like this is pointless. Why am I here? I have all of this freedom and privilege, and what am I gonna do?
And now Jaden had this awakening before you, didn't he?
Yes.
So I'm sure that helped somewhat.
Oh, 100%. How I deal with my negative feelings is through music and through, my curiosity in the world. Like I love looking at random things like a spider web and like marveling at that and being like, whoa, like life is so beautiful. The fact that something so tiny has this amount of intelligence and like, I don't know, like just finding
beauty in everyday things.
Exactly. And that's really what got me out of that fearful place. Because I was so fearful even to allow people into the studio. I wouldn't like allow people to give me any sort of advice.
Even your brother Jaden wasn't allowed?
He understood me and he understood what my trauma was. And I always knew that he understood what my trauma was. So he could talk to me in a way that was way more conscious and aware of my emotions than a lot of other people could. So that was really beautiful. But even still, I was very closed off. Because I was going through that whole thing, him having that realization, it took me a little while to get on the boat because I was still in my
Funk.
exactly.
Let's call it a funk.
Yeah, exactly.
You linked with Jaden on You Know.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
You Know about?
Still, again, with that duality, like, you know how life can test you, and then another lyric is how life can bless you. I kind of did like a homage back to the kind of music that I used to do, like that production kind of like, it almost has like a trap influence to it a little bit with the hi-hats and everything and the 808s that are happening. I kind of wanted to bring that like spiritual vibe. Like I'm talking about, I evoke the spirit of the mother and, you know, all of that stuff. And so I kind of wanted to bring that in with that trap element.
Yep. The juxtaposition of kind of the hardcore and the beautiful at the same time.
Exactly. And so I feel like Jaden is a really great expression of that just as a human being.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, you definitely need to be on this.
For a large portion of your life, you have been very famous. And there was a period there where you were like, yo, middle finger to the world.
Yeah. Big time.
But now you're back with us.
Exactly. Yes, I'm here.
So what happened?
Stay.
What happened in that time period? Like, what was the discovery? Because a lot of kids deal with this, right?
The biggest change was me realizing, like, hey, you can be mad about this all you want. You can sit here and pretend like, you know, you can not be this person, but the reality is you are this person.
Acceptance.
And everyone is looking at you to be a role model and to use your platform to do something good and to do something positive. That's just too important to just like be like, whatever. I'm just going to be sad and depressed. And like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, no, if you have this platform and people listen to you, like, be vulnerable, say something important. Like, people are feeling the way that you're feeling. Like, don't just sit in the shadows and like be alone. Like, let people know they're not alone.
My daughter, she loves Whip My Hair, by the way. Because, you know, for a young girl who has hair that is thick and natural, and
It's
she's
hard.
5, by the way, she's 5 dealing with it. She was talking about her friends who are her best friends because they have hair like her.
Yeah, exactly.
And this idea of like being included
that
in a
camaraderie,
group,
yeah.
right? That of people who look
exactly
like you. It's crazy.
Understand your struggle, yeah. Even though Whip My Hair is such like an empowering song, I was so insecure about my hair at that time. I was doing so much to it, cutting it, dyeing it, perming it, like so much stuff I was doing to my hair because I was just so insecure about it. But my mom showed me Lady of Rage, Afro Puffs, and that changed my entire life. And I was like, I hope this is what Whip My Hair is doing for girls. Them looking at it and being like, you know what? I'm tough
Fuck
and
that
stuff with
shit.
my
Yeah,
Afro Puffs.
yeah.
Like, I actually love my hair. I love how I look. It's gangsters.
And I remember Whip Your Hair was going around and you were doing radio and you were doing tours and you were like, and all of a sudden it was like, nope, she's done. She's off of it.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you would have just abandoned the whole, you know, being public. But the fact that you've leaned in.
Yeah.
So
Music
listen,
is my call. Like, if music wasn't, I tried so hard to really leave it behind because it just caused me so much pain that I was like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing with my life? And it was just like, music is just like,
for you.
I love you, come back to me. And I'm just like, ah. So yeah, it's definitely for real, my ride or die. So
Willow, go get it right now in Apple Music.